This is the Pre-Registration Physiotherapy Master's Degree course. This presentation will give you some information about the course and about the structure of the course. The course leaders for the Pre-Registration Physiotherapy Masters are Emma Richards and Jerry Scott. The course starts on Monday the 16th of January. The first 2 weeks are an intensive induction period where you will be enrolling, but you'll be learning about the library services, you'll be learning about the appropriate form of referencing and how to search for literature in the library services. We'll be introducing you to some of the anatomy services that are available, some of the online anatomy services such as Anatomy TV, and we will be really setting you up to understand how you have to reflect on yourself throughout the course, and also have a really good understanding of your development and the needs for your own personal development throughout the 2-year course. The pre-course day or pre-course information will give you a little bit further understanding of your professional requirements, how you need to think about your professional behaviour, use of social media, and what sort of learning and teaching methods we're going to be using throughout the course. Some ideas about assessments, placements, the importance of attendance, and the importance of you being resilient, because it's a full-time course and a very intensive course. What sort of student support and how we will encourage you to peer support each other, and what further opportunities there are available, and of course give you some information about the whole overview of the course. When you come to the induction, if you've not already filled out the paperwork or done your DBS checks, where we have checked that you have appropriate ability to come on the course, but also to screen you have no issues legally or likely to affect your professional standing. So your professional requirements need you to be DBS checked. You'll also have health checks as you arrive, and you will be required to understand the requirements for the Chartered Society of Physiotherapy, but also the Health Council professional body that you will be applying for physiotherapy graduate status at the end of the course. As we've said, there are a number of professional bodies that you have to adhere to become a qualified physio. So I think it would be beneficial for you to explore looking at the websites for the Chartered Society of Physiotherapy, but also the Health and Care Professional Council. So there's guidance on conduct and ethical behaviour for students. There is also some really useful guidance on use of social media while you are a student, but also as you are a qualified physio. What's really important is that you are aware of what your online image portrays about you. It's really important that you your Facebook site and other social media sites are appropriate for a physiotherapy student and a graduating physiotherapist. There has been situations where images have been posted on Facebook sites, and the university and the health professional bodies have decided that that individual is not fit to practice because of their Facebook image. So at this point, have a look at what images there are out there of you, and what your external image is from your social media sites. Ensure that you remove anything that you would not want your, for example, your grandparents to see from your Facebook site, and ensure that your privacy settings are set up to be appropriate for a professional. Be aware that other images that come from friends and indeed colleagues have to be of a similar status and standing that we and the university and the professional bodies would require. So, moving on to how we teach and we facilitate you to learn, there will be lectures, there'll be seminars, there'll be a good percentage of self-directed learning and tutor-directed learning, which will be online. So it's important that you ensure you have good access to computer at home and know where you can use computers at the university. There'll be a lot of practical and there'll be a lot of student practice sessions. We will be encouraging you to share information from your clinical practice with each other in student practice, student skill sessions. We will be encouraging students to take the lead on different topics and bring information back, both literature and clinical skills, to share with each other. So this course is an intensive 2-year course. We're asking you to get a master's within 2 years and become a graduate of physiotherapy, which is normally a 3-year course, an intensive 3-year course. So you must be prepared to do a large percentage of self-direction in the background and student practice in the background. So there will be a lot of online learning. Attendance requirements. To be a physiotherapist, you have to complete a certain number of specific hours in clinical practice, but also for you to graduate to achieve graduation from Sheffield Hallam University, we expect you to attend all timetabled activities. All attendance will be recorded and you'll be required to contact the university or placement sites to notify if there is any absence and the reason for absence. So we have a specific absence line. There is no holidays available in term time. Be aware that to qualify as a physiotherapy you need to have resilient. It's a hard course, especially this intensive 2-year course. You have to be professional at all time and you just need to work hard. So you need to be aware that you need to have resilience. So support that's available for you as a student. You will be allocated an academic advisor who will follow you throughout the 2 years, and that academic advisor will give you a reference at the end of the 2 years. It's really, really important that you build a good relationship with your academic advisor, and that academic advisor will guide and support you in your own personal development. Within the first 2 weeks induction, you'll be meeting the academic advisor, and it'll be your responsibility to work with the academic advisor, or the AA as we call them, to identify your gaps in your knowledge dependent on your background and your experience, to make sure that we're able to bring all the students on at the same rate, but also ensure that we're getting you to reflect on your own needs as a student moving towards qualification as a physiotherapist. There are a number of student support officers available to support you, which we may point you in the direction of if you have any issues, both academically or personally. But as the academic advisor will know you well, it is important that they are aware of any issues that you have. Each module will have a module leader, and there are a number of academic team members or lecturers that will be involved in each module. So you can approach any of these academics if you feel that's appropriate. In relation to placement, there is a placement team who will be leading and organising all placements for you, and again they're a point of contact for any concerns. There is a support services for disabilities such as dyslexia or anxiety issues, and they'll be there to help identify and support any students with any needs. Within the library and within other facilities at the university, there are many student support services such as study support groups, counselling, the support in relation to accommodation, the support to advise you about finance, and there's chaplaincy support for multi-faith arrangements. There is a physiotherapy society which is run by students, which will point you in the direction of in the first 2 weeks of induction. But one of the most important areas of support is from your peers, your group peers. There'll be 2 groups within this course, and it's really important that right from the start you identify that you have if you like, ideals, rules about how you're going to support each other. So, for example, within each of the modules, you will get 2-hour clinical skills practice sessions where you'll be working with your peers, and it's essential that you all attend these and you work with each other and you identify and reflect on what you've learned within each of these clinical practice sessions. So while you're at university, there will be a number of opportunities, and I would really encourage you to take any opportunities that are offered, really because it helps develop your professional development status, but also gives you experience to talk about at interview, but also gives you opportunities to expand your knowledge throughout the course. So within each group, we'll ask for there to be 2 student reps, both for the Chartered Society of Physiotherapy, group reps, and essentially department reps. We may ask student ambassadors to help us with open days, or buddying students to support more junior years. There is an interdisciplinary and IPE conference, which is an opportunity for you to share your skills with other disciplines. There is mentoring, a department or an initiative called Culture Connect. As we've said, there's buddy systems for you to buddy more junior students. There's lots of opportunities in relation to sport, and for example, the different sporting activities that happen in Sheffield, they often ask our students to support them, such as the mini running, the Great North Run, or the Wakefield, the different running opportunities that happen across the area. There is a committee called the Physiotherapy Society, which is run by students, but we often use the society to get information out to students about other opportunities that are happening in the area. So there's lots of peer teaching, as we've said, within your student practice sessions. We'll be asking you to lead and share information from your clinical practice, but also we'll be giving you topics to work together on. There will be revision sessions, and there'll be opportunities, even for example in the elective placement, you'll have opportunities for potential overseas visits if that's something that you feel may be useful for your professional development. And there'll be constant ongoing projects and research happening. As a department, we have very active research in relation to exercise and longer term conditions and other elite athletic research opportunities. Placements. We offer diverse clinical placements, or placements in a wide, diverse clinical arena, many different settings. So you'll be required to do a hospital-based placement, an inpatient and outpatient, community setting placements, and specialist placements. So in a variety of settings, there may be third sector, there may be NHS, but you will have in the second year the opportunity to have a choice module and a choice elective placement. So we'll help support you finding an elective placement of your specific choice. It might be you want to work in a specialist area such as Rugby England, or it might be that you want to go and work in a third world country for that placement, but that's that's something we'll support you with. So the course overview.